What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video, and we will talk about Hakim Ziyech in this video, and that Liverpool have a big chance of signing him in the January transfer window, because Hakim Ziyech in an interview confirmed that if a really big club comes in for him who played the right kind of attacking football, he would leave Ajax, but only for the right kind of club. And also in this video you will find out why Liverpool haven't moved for Loris Karius, their goalkeeper who is on loan at Besiktas. So stay tuned and make sure to leave a like on this video. It just takes 1 second for you guys to press that like button, and it really helps me out, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news and other news videos. Hakim Ziyech has confirmed that he rejected the chance to join Sevilla, basically saying that they are a similar club to Ajax, that they are competing in the Champions League but not for the Champions League. And he is 26 years old. He scored 16 goals and got 13 assists for Ajax last season, as Ajax won the Dutch double, the league and the cup, and also they reached the Champions League semi-finals. And I am a big fan of Hakim Ziyech. I think he would have been a brilliant signing for Liverpool, and it's a really a big shame that Liverpool didn't move in for him, because he scored 3 goals and got 3 assists in the Champions League for Ajax. And Hakim Ziyech revealed that he is not interested in joining a club like Sevilla, who is on the same level as Ajax. This is what Hakim Ziyech said, and I quote, "I feel at home here at Ajax and I get to play a lot. I think Sevilla are at the same level as Ajax, and I won't leave Ajax for no improvement. The right club hasn't made an offer, so for now I just stick with Ajax and do my very best on the field. I think everybody gets along really well. It's a great team, we have fun, and you shouldn't give that up for nothing. You shouldn't leave because of leaving. It has to be something you fully approve." So this leaves the door open for Liverpool, because I think Liverpool is the right club to leave Ajax for. Sevilla would be a sideways step. They are not competing for the La Liga title, they are not competing for the Champions League, but Liverpool are. So I think if Liverpool wants Hakim Ziyech, then we should really go for him, because this just confirms that he is open to a really big club, moving to a really big club like Liverpool, who are competing for titles and trophies. And this is what Ziyech said. Like I always said, it has to be the perfect picture. Everything needs to be right. I won't leave Ajax until I have that feeling. And also, Hakim Ziyech revealed that if a big club came in for him in the middle of the transfer window, he would have moved, because actually Bayern Munich came in very late in the transfer window, and basically Hakim Ziyech confirmed that because they came in too late, he didn't sign for Bayern Munich. So after turning down an offer from Sevilla, Ziyech now also revealed that he had the opportunity to join Bayern Munich, and he might have accepted the chance had it been coming at an earlier date. This is what he said: "I really enjoy playing for Ajax. It feels good to be entering my 4th season here. I'm sure Sevilla are a nice club, but I always have said that everything needed to be right if I were to make a move. Sevilla didn't give me that feeling, so I would rather stay at Ajax. I could have waited for Bayern Munich, yeah, but it felt like the right moment to clarify my situation, both for Ajax and for myself." He is referring to signing a new 3-year deal last week, basically showing his loyalty to Ajax. And also this just makes it sure that if Liverpool or another club buys Hakim Ziyech in the January transfer window or next summer, Ajax get a very good fee. And Hakim Ziyech is now very happy with Ajax, so I think it would take a really good offer from Liverpool to get Hakim Ziyech out of Ajax. And this is what also Ziyech said: "If a club wanted me, they could have made their move. I think everybody's seen what we did with Ajax and what my role was in that success. A transfer was never the holy grail for me. If the right club doesn't come along, so be it. I signed a new deal and will definitely remain at Ajax this season. We have a nice team, the atmosphere is great, and I'm keen to prove that last season's success wasn't a fluke. I am happy here. Money is not really an issue for me. I love football. And I get the best football experience here, attacking, possession and press without the ball. I have developed in both areas of my game and I enjoy both things. It brings out the best in me. Every player should make his own decisions. So here he confirms that he would love to play for a club who plays in a similar way, attacking, possession and press without the ball. That's exactly how Liverpool play. We are not a boring passing team. We are not a team who doesn't press the ball and just defends in a low block. We are always on the front foot, and this is why I think that Liverpool really should go for Ajax winger Hakim Ziyech. He would be brilliant for Liverpool. The big question is, like, he's playing regularly for Ajax right now, starting week in, week out. Would he come to Liverpool and know that maybe his playing time will be limited? It will be less minutes than at Ajax. That's debatable, but I think if as Hakim Ziyech himself said, if the right club comes in for him and he has that right feeling, he would go for it. And I think Liverpool would be a really interesting prospect for Hakim Ziyech, because as he said in an interview, Liverpool play in an exact same way as Ajax in terms of attacking in possession and also pressing without the ball. And I think there are a lot of similarities, and I think we could find a place for Hakim Ziyech. He could play as one of the midfield three. He could play instead of Wijnaldum in some games. He could play instead of Oxlade-Chamberlain or Naby Keita in some games. And also we could have a ready-made replacement for Salah or Mane when they are not fit. And we can't expect Mane and Salah to play every single game. We should rotate. We should get a fourth attacker like Hakim Ziyech, who is good enough to play in either of those positions. That's my opinion. And now, another interesting topic. Why didn't Liverpool recall Karius from their loan spell instead of signing 35-year-old Andy Lonergan? I made a video detailed everything you need to know about our new 35-year-old goalkeeper. Yes, we signed a new goalkeeper yesterday, Andy Lonergan. Make sure to check it out. It's a video on my channel, the previous video. So, as it turns out, according to the Liverpool Echo, Karius cannot be registered at a Premier League club outside of the transfer window. So because he is on loan at Besiktas and that's still his loan spell lasts for one more season, even if we recalled him, he wouldn't be able to play for Liverpool because he can't be registered in the Premier League. And yes, we could play him in the Champions League maybe, but that's not the point. Alisson probably will be back in 3 or 4 weeks. Jurgen Klopp confirmed in an interview that usually these injuries take 4 weeks, sometimes maybe even more, sometimes less, but Alisson never had a long injury, so Jurgen Klopp just wants to see how Alisson progresses in his injury recovery. So you won't be able to recall Karius, but that's not an option either, as the deal with Besiktas does not include a clause which would allow that. So even if Liverpool wanted to recall Karius, we wouldn't be able to do so, because basically he is contracted to Besiktas until the end of the season, and until the loan spell is finished, we can't do anything. So I think it made sense to sign Lonergan, who is an experienced 35-year-old goalkeeper, and he will probably not play. Adrian will be our first choice, but if something happens to Adrian, at least we don't have to put in an 18-year-old kid to play for Liverpool. And Jose Mourinho came out with some very interesting quotes on why Man United failed to challenge for the title recently and why they finished outside of the top 4. This is what Mourinho said about Man United. I didn't feel last season we did enough in the transfer market to allow us to compete for the title, for the first position in the Premier League. Last season, no, I didn't believe United could win the title. When I said that the second position, the previous season was one of my biggest achievements in football, I was not having fun with the words, I was not joking, I was just telling you what I was feeling. The season when we finished second was good. I didn't feel last season we did enough in the transfer market. Also because we finished second, the distance to first was very considerable. So I don't think this season they can win the title, Man United, but obviously I hope they feel they can, because that will be an important motivational push for them. And Europa League, if you are a team like Man United, you have to win. In the Premier League, obviously the dressing room must feel that they can win the title. If they don't feel it, they are in trouble. But finishing in the top four would be a big achievement for Man United. And now back to Liverpool. Ian Wright said on BBC Radio 5 Live that he fancies Liverpool to win the Premier League title this season. This is what Ian Wright said, the Arsenal legend, and I quote, "What I'm seeing from Liverpool this season, I have to say, Man City are magnificent, but Liverpool will have to learn from the slip-up against Leicester and when City lost to Newcastle. At the end of the day, they lost the league by a point. And what I'm making of this is that what Liverpool learned from last season is how important it is not to drop points when you have the opportunity to win games at home. That's what it's going to come down to." So I think Ian Wright is right. He, of course, that's a pun, sorry about that, but I just had to do it. So Liverpool have to be ruthless, especially at home. We have to win every single game that we play, or at least we will try. And sometimes Liverpool were a little bit too cautious, but there has not been another season like that where a team flawlessly wins the last 14 games of the season. So Liverpool couldn't have expected Man City to go on this incredible winning run, even though there were warning signs, because the previous season I think Man City went on a 19 or 21 game winning streak, or 18 game winning streak, something crazy like that. So Liverpool have to be more ruthless this season. When we have the chance to win the game, we should go for it. We should go for the jugular. And Jamie Carragher also commented on the title race. This is what he said about Liverpool. "Remember, Liverpool are on the back of their Champions League win. I can only use my own experience on what that does to you as a player. It gives you a bit of arrogance in a nice way. When we won it in 2005, I never believed I was good enough to play at that level or to win that competition. But once you have done it, you think, well, I am now. The current players were probably watching Barcelona, Real Madrid. Maybe they thought, am I as good as them? But now they have done it, it should give them that little bit extra this season." And yes, Carragher is right. Liverpool, against any team we are playing, we should remember that we beat Barcelona 4-0 with us, basically our B team, and we won the Champions League. So we can do anything, we can beat any team on our day. And really Liverpool should have a lot of confidence going into this season. And I'm really looking forward to Wednesday, where we play the European Super Cup final against Chelsea. And Chelsea will be like a wounded animal in that game. So we have to be careful, and we have to watch out. But if we play to the maximum of our ability, we are better than Chelsea and we will beat them. But we have to play well if we want to do so. And Joe Gomez still thinks that Liverpool are underdogs in some aspects. This is what he said, and let's analyze his words. And I quote, "Playing in finals and playing for silverware is what you aim for throughout the whole season. To have the opportunity is obviously what we want to be here for. The start of the campaign is a bit more strenuous than usual with a few more games, but it's why we are here and it's our aim. We are all enjoying it and soaking it up." Obviously, the European Champions label that's given now, that we achieved what we did last season, I think the main thing in our minds is that we still see ourselves as underdogs. We still see ourselves as a hungry team that hasn't achieved what we want to achieve yet. There's still so much more to do and surpass what we did last season. I think the main thing is that our mindset is in the right place, and whatever is said after that is not up to us. And Gomez is right. Liverpool haven't completed the project yet. We haven't won the Premier League title. We haven't won multiple trophies in a season. I think for this Jurgen Klopp era to be considered an ultimate true success, Liverpool must win the Premier League title, but it will be incredibly difficult because Man City are a fantastic side, but Liverpool are also a fantastic side, and it's going to be very, very interesting how Jurgen Klopp motivates his players. But Jurgen Klopp has urged Liverpool to stay greedy as Liverpool are trying to win more trophies. And Jurgen Klopp has been talking to the UEFA's official website, and this is what his message is ahead of the European Super Cup final. Stay greedy, that's very important. I have no doubt about that, but it's clear that we have to do that. After the final we had about 4 weeks where everybody was patting us on the back, and it was brilliant wherever we went. It's just nice, but in a different world, things like this can soften you, and it can take the power out of you a bit. We are not like this, but it's a fact that it could happen at least. We only have to do the same again, but with a couple of things we maybe didn't do too well. We have to do better. That's how it is. Knowing that something works out helps you to believe that it will work out again 100%. That helps when I try to convince the boys that anything is possible. Thank God I'm not the only one in the dressing room who thinks that these things are possible, and that helps a lot. The people, the fans, the supporters believe, and meanwhile, that we are capable of doing special things. There's no alternative to creating a special atmosphere. We have to do that. We know how it works. Sometimes the crowd starts it, sometimes we have to start it. That's not important. The only thing that's important is that we can create it. And I think Jurgen Klopp is right. Liverpool have to stay greedy, because if we lose the European Super Cup final as well, it will leave a very, very bitter taste in many fans' mouths, but also the players. I think we'll see it as an opportunity missed. How many times do you play in a European Super Cup final? Not that many times. Liverpool haven't played it since 2005. You have to win the Champions League or the Europa League to do it. And Liverpool, even though we were close to winning the Europa League and the Champions League in the last 4 seasons, we only won the Champions League once in 14 years. And we won the Europa League 0 times since 2001, even though we played in a final with Jurgen Klopp. So you don't get to play in a European Super Cup final that often, even if you are as big a club as Liverpool. So I think we really need to go and try to win this trophy, because I think we are a better team than Chelsea, but we have to earn the right to win the trophy. We have to show it on the pitch that we are better. And also, Harry Kane said that Liverpool set the standard last season, and Tottenham have to live up to that. This is what he said. We have to make sure we get off to a good start. Liverpool set the standard on Friday night as well, and Man City on Saturday afternoon. So it's important that we stay in touch as long as we can. We have full belief that we can go all the way and win the title, but there's a long road ahead. That's why we buy players, to strengthen the squad and have more competition for places. That's what we have got. We've got a good, hungry squad. Everyone's fit and ready to go. The players that came on have to try to make an impact, and they did. It's important for us if we are going to have a good season. And I think Tottenham are a little bit closer to Liverpool because of their new transfers, but I think Liverpool are also a little bit closer to Manchester City because of the experience of last season, because of winning the Champions League and having sky-high confidence. So this season is going to be fascinating, and I will be covering it all the way on my channel, so stay tuned for more videos to come. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.